It's a beautiful day, too nice to be in the workshop, so I have a little portable bench outside under an undercover area, and I like to do little jobs out here. It's nice and breezy and cool. And one of the things that I'm focusing on now is the tank of the MC19. So I've already started stripping bits of it. The fuel cap wasn't held on real firmly. And the reason for that is that the key for the bike is history, apparently about 2 owners back. So that was the easy part to take off. The idea behind this is to strip the tank right down, inspect inside it, make sure it's clean, it's going to provide good service, that it's not rusty, and just have a look at the other bits around it. Fuel tap, the fuel lines will go as a matter of course, the rubbers that mount it probably need to go as well, and then of course it needs to be painted up and made to be presentable again. With the fuel cap off, the next thing we want to do is get the fuel tap out of there. It's just a simple Phillips head screwdriver for the tap itself, a little knob that you twist, and I guess we can call this part the valve. Not really securely held on, you can see. I find it interesting that there's some sort of filler in there as well, and that implies to me a leaking fuel tap. Alright, let's enjoy that in all its glory for a second there. Wow. Okay, so we're getting to the core of things now. So there's 3 O-rings there, and they're dead flat. So this tap would have leaked. Now, you probably recall from the other videos for this bike that the bike allegedly had a broken fuel pump. Now, I've always been skeptical of that. I don't believe it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that what they thought was a non-functional fuel pump was actually the reserve tank. I mean, when you've got your fuel tap, you've got main and reserve, as you know. They pick up from 2 different points. The main probably has a tube going up into the tank, and it'll allow you to get, say, 80% of it. And then when the tank runs low, you turn your fuel tap over and it uses a different pickup which is at the bottom of the tank and allows you to get what's left. Well, really what it does is tell you that you're running out of juice and you need to go get yourself some fuel. So I'm guessing, fairly educated guess, that it's this rubbish in here that was preventing the bike from being working. If you ever encounter this, of course, the important thing is to keep the inside of the tank clean. Now, somebody actually drilled the lock on the fuel cap, and there are bits of broken lock floating around inside the tank as it is. But this stuff here, probably going to have to find some way to remove that, but that's absolutely dodgy, that. But it answers a lot of questions, doesn't it? Now this tap, believe it or not, would probably still be as a spare. I think I'll try and source a new old stock one and replace it. To utilise it as a spare, we'd have to find some O-rings for it, some fuel resistant ones, clean it up, and it probably would be fine. Good spare nonetheless. Spares are going to start drying up for these things one day. So I won't bore you with the joys of watching me scrape this garbage off. Oh, that's just plain nasty, that is. But defective fuel pump? No, I don't think so. I think we just nailed it. Excellent. The tank is actually in quite good condition. You can see that the paint has chipped off here, which is a bit of a shame. There's some damage there. We'll soon sort that out. There's no rust, no real show-stopping chunks of rust for us to enjoy. Let's put the fuel on while we're here. This one here, I'm guessing, is the drain for up top. Yep. So when I blow in there, the air comes out of here. So if you overfill your tank, that's how it's going to drain off. All over the battery by the lid. No, not quite. There's suspension, I think. Anyway, that's the start for the tank at least. We need to get the fuel out of as well. It's floating around in the bottom. So this stuff here, this does not fix O-rings. This just makes other problems. Though admittedly it probably didn't leak. If it was a roadside repair, you'd sort of respect it. But with roadside repairs, once you're home, you fix it properly. But I'd say that's the core of it there. Those O-rings are simply flattened out. Somebody, instead of replacing the O-rings, which are probably less than $1 each, has decided to go the other way and buy himself a $10 tube of some sealant or other and go from there. I've got a little box to put goodies in. Try and avoid fasteners being lost by sort of sticking stuff right back where they should go. And as we take bits off our tank, the bits that we want to keep, or we think we might need, we'll box them. When the bike's up and running and you've got all of these little boxes, you bag it and you put it into a plastic tub of some sort and you leave it on the shelf, because you never know when you might need to revisit one of the parts that you replaced. That tap bar is probably quite repairable, as I said. I can't say the same for these O-rings. Look, I'm no expert on this, but I had a friend when I was a teenager who was quite herbaceous, and he used to carry one of those around in a short piece of pipe as well. That is this one, on the other hand, is a genuine Honda spacer. I'm not going to speculate what the name of that is. And the last thing really is just to get rid of this. I reckon, judging by the way, this is about a full centimetre to one side. That little rubber grommet there, that was used in anger just before they put this on. The less said the better, or else I'll lose my kid safe road. I'm just going to take this off. We're going to, from here we'll drain the tank. Rubbing it down and rust proofing it.